retired alderman of Lockport, Mr. Pete Correll.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
This evening we will be starting with Trustee Childicus.
Present.
Miklos.
Here.
Sagowski.
Here.
Stapleton.
Here.
Virgilio absent. Platzer. Here.
Next on the agenda is the consent agenda, which consists of approval of minutes for the September 14th village board meeting, September 18th strategic planning session, September 21st committee of the whole meeting, approval of disbursements, and ordinance authorizing the payment of redevelopment project costs and distribution of excess monies for the downtown Lemont tax increment financing redevelopment projects that are within the Village of Lemont, an ordinance amending an authorization of a recapture agreement for sewer and water amendment, a resolution authorizing a reduction of letter of credit for the Birch Path Subdivision, and a resolution authorizing the village administrator to enter into a consulting agreement with Seraphin Associates. I need a motion to approve. So moved. Made by Trustee Miklos, second by Trustee Blatzer. Any questions, comments, regards? With none, roll call.
Childicus.
Yes.
Miklos.
Yes.
Sagowski.
Yes.
Stapleton.
Yes.
Virgilio absent. Platzer.
Yes.
Motion approves. Next on the agenda is the mayor's report, and I got a couple items I want to go through. But first and foremost, tonight is when we recognize our Voter Alert Network and our Sentry Network member recognition. I want to first commend our EMA director, Mr. Tom Ballard, for all the hard work he does in a town that is primarily residential, but has a hard-working industrial core that has been at the heart of Lemont since the creation of Lemont, and it's a true testament of how the village works together with industry and our commercial and our residents, and all the fine work that you do, and all the fine work that all the representatives here at the village are here tonight to get their recognition. So I want to thank everybody very much for the hard work they do. It usually comes when times when people are at home, so it could be a Sunday night, Saturday afternoon, when people might find something they've seen that could be offensive, and that's when the phone call comes in. You guys go out and investigate. So I do appreciate you taking the time out of your schedules to help out the citizens of Lemont, Romeoville, and Lockport. So, Mr. Ballard?
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Board. Yeah, these guys, we can call them any time of night, and thank you for doing what you do. It's like our nose out there that I can't be there all the time, so these guys, if they knew they called in, they give me a description, or their own coordinator a description, because we have Lockport, we also have Romeoville, so each town has their own little group, and very good. I'd like to turn over to Greg Michaud, our OAN advisor, for some comments.
Thanks, Before the presentations are made, I just wanted to briefly say a couple of points about the OAN that's important for those who are newcomers in the audience to hear. This was a pioneering environmental initiative that started a little bit over 10 years ago. And these folks that are up here tonight, they had the courage to say, we're going to try something new because we've got a problem in this part of the state and we want to fix that problem. And because you had the courage to say, we're going to give this a try, and this is something that had not been done anywhere in the United States, this process, the OAN got its first opportunity anywhere in the United States. In the last 10 years, the resolution rate has been able to exceed 80% of all odor complaints that come in. Before the OAN started, that resolution rate was less than 3%. So the OAN continues to be a success. And you know, when we hear about government news, whether it's in Springfield or in Washington, we hear a recurring theme. We hear there's a lot of dysfunction, there's a lack of cooperation. All you have to do is look here to see the exact opposite of that. Not only is this functioning well with Lemont, it's functioning well with our neighbors in Lockport and in Romeoville. And I want to share with you two comments that came from Illinois EPA officials. The first one was, before the OAN was formed, we, the IEPA, received a lot of odor complaints from the Lemont area. Now we haven't been receiving any. the head of field operations said to me, he said, "This thing works so well, you guys ought to patent it." So there you go, Mayor, maybe you ought to patent this thing. And then the Director's Office, Illinois EPA, said, "The OAN continues to be an outstanding example of how government and business can work together with interested citizens to resolve problems at the local level." So everybody here is to be commended for that. I'm going to hand it back to Tom so we can recognize the people who had a big hand in this.
Thank you, Craig.
Okay, if I call your name, would you like to come up and I get a picture, a quick picture? And we also said we have Lockport and Romeo. Chris Albrecht. Elba Caceres. Elba? Sorry, Cassell. Cassell, okay. Sorry. Milton Nichols?
Pete.
Thank you very much. Brian Ranke? Mark LaChapelle.
Write that down.
Thank you very much, guys. Now I have Pete Colorado come in and do Lockport.
Thanks, Tom.
Thank you, Pete.
So this is the first year for our Lockport participation, and Mayor Streit and our Director of the Emergency Management Agency in Lockport, Phil Rittenhouse, could not be here tonight. So they've asked me to present on their behalf, and we couldn't be more grateful to see so many volunteers step up in our inaugural year and sacrifice their time for a good cause. I know some are not here today, but I'll announce them anyway. The first one, Sandy Berchensky, is a longtime community member in Lockport and has done so many good things. Her husband actually works at Citgo. She's not here today, but we recognize her. David Dornan, I don't think is here either. I know this guy is Grant Spooner. He's behind the camera right now. Grant does a lot of things for the city of Lockport. It's just one of the many. Congratulations. And Homer, that's right. Yeah. Edward Stoba. Dennis Barovic. It's not here. Dennis not here. And then our coordinator, Phil Rittenhouse. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Pete.
I'd like to introduce Romeo Bob.
Board of Trustees, audience. On behalf of Romeoville, I'll be filling in for Chief Kent Adams, and I too will be presenting the Sentry's their certificates. Edward Delorier, who happens to be working right now, and as a matter of fact, as a half hour ago, was chasing an odor down Weber Road, along with Bolingbrook and Lockport. On behalf of the Romeo Fire Department, I will accept our certificate as for the organization. I'd like to call up Brenda Kastner. Debbie Halley. Thank you. Iris Hack. Chris Arolano. Terry Ayers. Just say, I'll meet you here.
Thank you very much. I'd like to invite the board to Zamos after the meeting. We're going to have some pizza there. You're welcome. To the Sentry members, if we go to the back room, we want to get some more pictures of the group. So.
I got a quick question for you. So, out of the 3 communities now, do you guys have a breakdown over the last year, or maybe Greg or yourself, have a breakdown of between Lemont, Lockport, Romeoville? Is it pretty much split? You know, third where the calls come in, or is it?
This year's been this year's been reduced quite a bit as far as order complaints. I mean, I've only had maybe a couple in the last quarter.
Okay.
I mean, it used to be 10, 15, 20 a quarter. Now we're down to like a couple a quarter.
Okay.
So, I mean, working with the people in the community, talking to them, going out and finding out what's going on, how they feel, and what they're smelling. And then I'm sure Romeoville and Lockport's doing the same thing. And, I'll let Greg take on those two because he's got all the stats for Romeoville and Lockport. But as far as Lemont, we've gone way down this year. So,
Do you know what they are, Greg, as far as on?
Greg, do you have anything about Lockport?
Between our 2 communities, it's between 40 and 50 complaints.
Okay.
And all of them have been resolved.
Great. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you. And a big round of applause for Alderman Pete Colrelli, who actually knew the Pledge of Allegiance.
It never, and he didn't even give me a heads up.
Never ceases to amaze me the things that Pete can do. Watch it, Pete. Next on the mayor's report, I want to give an update where we are on our continuing battle with Palos Park. I just got off the phone on a conference call with different members of our team and our strategic team that we're putting together, that we have put together. And I can tell you that next Tuesday, October 6th, is the next Forest Preserve District meeting. And this is the one that we need to have a huge showing at. The last time was outstanding, and I can tell you it worked. The phone calls, the emails, the letters, everybody, when we're talking to the commissioners now, a lot of comments are coming back saying, thank God the phone calls have stopped. Well, the vote is next Tuesday. The phone calls have got to start again. We have got, and will be posted tomorrow, the next set of talking points. Again, I thank everybody so much. There was over 1,000 people that took time in the communities to voice their opposition to this. We need to do it again. The vote is coming up. We are making great progress. We need to make sure that they understand these talking points. Making sure that the county doesn't favor one municipality over another. Putting unnecessary stress on our school district. Uncontrolled growth. These are huge, huge issues that need to be addressed. And if it wasn't for the county's participation in this, this would be a moot point. There would be no way that they could annex or be contiguous to any of these parcels. Forest Preserve District said 6 weeks ago this was about a water issue. Mayor Mahoney, last board meeting 2 weeks ago on Monday night, stated in an open meeting that was videotaped and said this was about being a direct contiguity piece to Mid-Iron. So it is not what the Forest Preserve is talking about. This is exactly what we have been talking about. And we continue to want to make sure that we get our message. I beg everybody, please take the message, call the county commissioners again, please take time out, call them all again, please email them all again, even President Preckwinkle. It is working. The more pressure, the more information that we get to these folks saying that this is wrong, it's going to work. Tuesday morning, October 6th at 7 a.m., we are going to have another bus going down to the county building for us to participate in their board meeting. We need to fill that bus. We had a great showing last time. We need to fill it again. We need to fill that boardroom to make our point as strong as we did last time. Again, I can't emphasize enough. I've been to numerous county board meetings. I have never seen the Board of Commissioners be as focused on people speaking as we were at that board meeting. It's usually mass chaos in there. Staffers are coming back and forth. People are talking. No one's paying attention to each other. Everybody in that room were focused on what we had to say. We need to do it again. So again, we are going to reach out to all of our media outlets. We're going to get it back on Facebook. We're going to get the wagons, rounded up and headed out again. We need to make this point and put this point through, 10 times more than we did last time. So I can't say enough thanks to everybody for all that everybody's doing. And we will continue to work hard. And I look forward to seeing everybody on the bus. We want to do something as far as coordinating, Trustee Childakis, as far as if they plan on coming to the bus, to just reach out to.
It'll be posted on our website tomorrow.
Okay, so it'll be posted on. So if you do plan on taking the bus down, it'll be posted on our website tomorrow. If you can please sign up so we know how many people are on, because if we need to get a second bus, we will get a second bus.
Again, it's leaving from the township.
It is leaving from the township offices on Elba, where we left from last time, right by 355, and at 7 a.m. in the morning. So, trustees, anything to add to that? Or? Okay.
The talking points will be online as well.
Yes, they will be. Yep.
And one quick item of note, the meeting should be at 9:15, the real estate committee meeting, and then we expect the item to be heard at 10 o'clock at the regular board meeting. So even if you're not able to take the bus and you're downtown for work, if you're able to break out for an hour or so and be at the meeting, we'd love to have you as well.
Excellent. Thank you, George.
Excuse me, will they require us to register ahead of time if we want to speak?
Yes. Once the agenda is out, we will be able to do what we did before to be able to schedule to speak. We have to make sure those are in 24 hours before the scheduled meeting, so we have that on, we have until Monday, correct, George? We'll have until Monday to be able to sign those up, and we'll have information on that as well on the website. Okay.
One last item for the residents. An important play here is if you have friends or family members that live within Cook County and in other districts amongst other commissioners, please call those friends or family members and tell them about the story. Email them these talking points and have them call their local commissioner and talk about local control. Because what's happening in Lemont can happen in another community within Cook County. So it's important for local constituents to talk to their local commissioners also. So if you have friends and family, please pass the email out, phone call, make sure they know about the story, and they're calling their commissioner and talking about it also.
Excellent point. Thank you, Trustee Childakis. With that, we'll open up for audience participation. If none, we will go to the clerk's report.
Thank you. The first ordinance we have under my report this evening would be O-33-13, and this is repealing ordinance 830 and granting a special use for final plan unit development for Lemont Nursing and Rehab Center at 12450 Walker Road in Lemont, Illinois. That's Lemont Nursing and Rehabilitation.
I need a motion to approve.
So moved.
Made by Trustee Blatzer. Second. Second by Trustee Miklos. Jerry, anything you want to bring us up to speed on this?
Just as a recap again, the Committee of the Whole reviewed this application in June, and at that time the applicant still had some work to do to comply with the conditions of approval that accompanied the recommendation for approval from the Planning and Zoning Commission. Since that time, they have revised all their plans to comply with those conditions, including a trash enclosure for both the dumpster and the trash compactor on the site, revising the drainage plan, the grading plan to improve some existing drainage concerns at the southeast corner of the property, as well as providing significant landscaping, berms, and evergreen trees, over 50 evergreen trees on the south property, south of the expansion, not the south property line, but south of the proposed expansion to provide screening and mitigation for adjacent property.
Thank you, Charity.
I got the drawings, I couldn't read the berm size. Do you know how high the berms will be that the pine trees will be planted on?
It's a little under 4 feet.
Okay, and do we know what size trees they'll be planting offhand?
I believe the evergreens are 6 feet.
And then spaced properly to mitigate all the light control.
Right, so the condition from the Planning and Zoning Commission was that the applicant comply with our transition yard requirements, which requires a combination of plantings and berms or fencing, like we would normally have between a B-zone property and a residential property. And the applicant has substantially complied with that. However, the transition yard requirements usually includes a broader diversity of tree species. In this circumstance, because the concerns were about lights and mitigating the light, they're very heavy on the evergreens. But we found that to be a good trade-off.
And all the parking lights will meet our standards of mitigating the light from transferring into the neighbors' yards. It'll all be focused into the parking lots.
Right. Our code requires that they submit a photometric plan, which they have, that shows that the light spillage goes to 0 before it hits the property line.
Any other questions?
No, so the height of the berm means there should be no headlights shining into the homes then from the parking lot.
The berm, the
Oh,
evergreen
yeah.
trees, I feel as though the plans have been revised to provide substantial screen.
Thank you.
Roll call?
Trombley.
Yes.
Miklos?
Yes.
Snagowski?
Yes.
Stapleton?
Yes.
Virgilio absent. Blatzer?
Yes.
Motion approves.
The next item I have is ordinance O-34-15. And this is amending ordinance O-43-14, an ordinance granting final plan and plat approval for a residential planned unit development and on a 131.14 acre parcel located at Parker Road and 131st Street in Lemont. That's Kettering.
I need a motion to approve.
So moved.
Second, Trombley, second by trustee Miklos. Charity?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. The proposed amendment to the Kettering PUD would change 17 of the large lots on the interior of the subdivision, not the ones that are around the perimeter, to 19 medium-sized lots. This is going to enable the developer to provide a 100-foot wide access into the park site on the property. This is a benefit to the park district because they really wanted to see an increased visibility and a view corridor into that park site. And additionally, the developer will be able to pave a few parking spaces for the park as well. The amendment also includes some intended changes to the garage, masonry, and anti-monotony requirements, just to reflect the change in the lot numbers.
Thank you, Charity. Again, I believe this is a true win-win for the Park District and for the village and for the residents in the area out there. It gives true access to the park that we are proposing. So I applaud what we are doing here.
And the other thing is the builder is maintaining the standards of masonry that have been accomplished from the beginning of the PUD. So hats off to you guys for working with us on that.
Yeah, we do appreciate that. Any other questions? Roll call?
Trombley.
Yes.
Miklos?
Yes.
Snagowski?
Yes.
Stapleton?
Yes.
Virgilio absent. Blatzer?
Yes.
Motion approves.
That's all I have this evening, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Village Attorney's report.
I'll report as a session.
Thank you, Mr. Stein. Village Administrator's report.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. One quick item, just wanted to remind residents that this is our last voting meeting until October 26th. Our typically scheduled meeting for October 12th is not on our meeting calendar because of observance of Columbus Day. Village offices are open, but we will not be meeting that night on October 12th.
George. Board reports. I have one from trustee Stapleton.
Yes, I'd like the residents to set aside the date of Saturday, October 17th. We're celebrating the 5th anniversary of the Lemont Center for the Arts. This is marking the opening of the largest exhibit ever for the Center for the Arts. It'll be featuring at least 25 artists. In the gala, there'll be chamber music, a cabaret show, sumptuous food, soft drinks, beer, wine. There'll be door prizes for those who purchase a ticket. There'll be side raffles. This exhibit is a juried exhibit, so the artists will be juried by a jury of their peers. There will be a first, second, and third prize for the artists. It starts at 6:30 p.m. and runs till 10 p.m. It will be at the Lithuanian World Center Art Museum, 14911 127th Street. The all-inclusive donation for this event is $50. Only 500 tickets will be sold for the grand prize. Tickets are available at Lemont Center for the Arts, 1243 State Street, or the Village Hall. I suggest the Village Hall because the Center for the Arts is only open generally in the afternoon on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Thank you, Trustee Stapleton. Under staff reports, Jerry Jones.
Thank you. So October 17th is going to be a busy day around the Village of Lemont. Before people head over to the Center for the Arts event in the morning, we have the Lemont Environmental Advisory Commission's Recycling Day in the Metro Lot from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. And information on that event can be found on the Village website, as well as our next Heritage Quarries Recreation Area Cleanup Day in partnership with Citgo. That will be from 8 a.m. to noon. Registration in advance is required. There's also a goodie bag that everybody will receive that day that signs up. And the meeting place at 8 a.m. will be at the high school. The next Saturday, October 24th, is our annual Halloween Hoedown from 1 to 4 p.m. So I know that's a ways from now, but since we don't have another board meeting in the interim, everybody just be sure to mark your calendars. It's a great event, great opportunity to bring kids down and do some good food.
Great. Thank you, Jerry. Will there be some sumptuous food in those goodie bags?
More like work gloves.
That's some new words I'm already hearing. Did you know that? La Chicago or whatever the guy new guy that works for us. I didn't.
Chaparral.
Well, Chaparral.
You like that? High Chaparral.
Next, Chief Maytop.
Can I ask a quick question? Sure. Chair, I don't know if you know the answer, but for the environmental recycling, is that also electronics recycling? If somebody had a TV that they wanted to recycle, do you?
There typically is electronics recycling as part of it. I believe that's all in the flyer that's on the website.
Okay. Yeah, some people have been asking about TVs, and I said, no, the garbage trucks will not be picking up, and no, you can't bring them to Public Works, so I was trying to find an alternate.
We do have a list of places that do still take televisions on the Village website. If you go on the Village website and search for recycling, it'll come up.
Yeah, I looked at it as there's several locations, but if this is right here in Lemont, that would be super convenient. If you can break away from the heritage cleanup to do it.
And the sumptuous food.
And some.
FDR. Did you have anything, Mr. Patullo, you wanted to add on that?
On the electronic recycling, you can go down to Camp Sagwa, down 83 Main, and they have a large container down there that they're taking recycles.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
All the time?
Yes.
Okay, great.
Whenever they're open.
Yes. Excellent. Let me make sure, is that on the website? Do you know? Sure. Is that one on the?
I don't know if Camp Sagwell's one.
We probably should make sure we add that one, because that'd be, I mean, that's the closest one, so we can try to get some of these that are off the streets or in the corners or in the alleys that are starting to pile up before.
Yes, dropped outside the Public Works side door.
Right?
Found it.
Sorry, Chief, you're up.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. The September tip of the month is how to obtain a police report from the police department. So in order for a citizen to obtain a police report, a Freedom of Information request or a FOIA must be submitted. Citizens can complete the FOIA request at the kiosk in our lobby, or they can do it online at the village website. Requests are filled as soon as possible, as soon as they're available, but can take up to 5 days for completion. Exceptions to this are crash reports. They do not require a FOIA request and are obtained through a third-party vendor. Instructions for obtaining crash reports are also available on the website. For more information, please see the Village of Lemont website.
All right. Thank you, Chief. It's a good one. Not that the other ones weren't good, but that's a good one. Well, I
think you should get a card from 1 to 10.
Yeah, I
do an 8.
I like that one. That's, I think you might have something there, Trustee Blatz.
Always good.
That's right. Better than the one, how to obtain a concealed weapons permit. Last time, I'm like, oh, we might want to add that a little bit. And you know, let's ease on down with that. So, does anybody have anything under unfinished business?
I am, sorry to put down, water rates increase. So.
You said no.
I know, I'm sorry.
No, thank you so much. I've always been taught no means no. Right, Chief?
Anyway,
Yes.
annual water rate increases will be effective October 1st. Details of the rate increases are on the village's website. The existing rates will be a slight increase between 2 and 3%. This is the first time, though, in several years, there's going to be an increase in senior rates. Senior rates are going to be 50% of what the rates are at. The annual increases are necessary to keep up with costs associated to maintain and improve the village's water system.
Thank you, Chris. I appreciate you putting that out there. Anything else under? No, I appreciate it. New business? Old business? All right, with that, I need a motion to move to executive session to discuss threat and litigation, pending litigation, land acquisition, and personnel.
Mr. Mayor, it's actually not personnel, I believe it's the selection of a person to fill a public office. So different subsection over there.
How did you want it worded?
It's the selection of a person to fill a public office.
Okay.
All right, with that, made by trustee Blatzer, second by trustee Mikulos. Roll call, please.
Chalikas?
Yes.
Nichols?
Yes.
Sadowski?
Yes.
Stapleton?
Yes.
Virgilio Anderson? Blatzer?
Yes.
Motion approved. We move to executive session.